Okie dokie, Shoulder FootyCast live from BackChat Studios. Thursday, we're getting towards the back end of the year. Skeeter's excited. He's got his trips planned, footy trips. He wants to go to the Boxing Day test. Can't decide how he's going to get over there, how he's going to broach it with the missus or the daughters. He was last night putting his case forward to me. I'm like, mate, you can just come. I'm going. And he sits with me right now, Scully and Skeeter. Hello, Skeet.
Hello, Scully. Just looking around this beautiful studio, and it is 4 degrees outside. Actually, is it heated in here, or is there anything warmth, or are we just sort of going to...
You cold?
Oh, it's a relatively cool morning, yeah, I would have thought. But
so would you like
just, I don't know, it just feels like, maybe it's the depths of winter, and that's how we're tracking. But
well, I don't know if you're leading us into one of our new sponsors there, Skeeter. It's a nice little teaser there. So you're just cold, eh?
No, I have been for a walk this morning and it was
How'd
cold.
How'd you
go? Not great. I had a couple of days off this week. I'm feeling just a bit run down, but I'm ready to go for this weekend. I'm dressed. My wife's as sick as a dog. I'm just trying to sleep at the opposite end of the bed to her, in all seriousness. Got a dog in the middle of us, and I'm just trying not to get her cold, flu. She can't talk. She seriously sounds exactly like you did 2 months ago, except you kept going on air, and you sounded like... You may as well have been Marcel Marceau, because no one can understand a word you were saying.
Who's Marcel?
You've never heard of Marcel Marceau.
Who is that?
He was sign language. He was like a... Have a look up Marcel Marceau.
Was he a mime?
French, yeah. French.
A sign language, or was he a mime?
It was mime. But you may... Fat Cat, take your pick. Marcel Marceau, look it up. If you've never heard of Marcel Marceau.
I have. I just some of the depths of your brain sometimes. Like, where have you pulled that from? So can we just... We're about to get into the show, definitely, but can you just talk me through... So you want to come to the Boxing Day test?
Oh, no. I'm very keen to go to the box, but I'm also going to the Melbourne Cup and we're going to the grand final. So I need to try and get the 3-legged multi up. I need some luck on my side.
All right. So you got any ideas to how to get Skeet to the Boxing Day test? Not from a cost perspective. I'm sure he's good
it's just
for that.
about
some messaging.
Permission.
If we're in footy land, the messaging and the
Well, what do they say in marriages, or forgiveness is easier than permission, or what is that? There's a saying that just go and do it, and then forgiveness is easier than...
Just ask for forgiveness.
Because if you ask for permission, it's a lot harder than just asking for forgiveness.
All right, so is that the plan at the moment? Well, you're just going to do it?
It's a pretty tenuous plan. It has got a lot of flaws in it, but if anyone has experience in this area...
let us know in the YouTube comments below. Help Skeeter out. Shoulder FootyCast. All of that good stuff. Shoulder FootyCast on Instagram. You can send us emails at footycast@backchatstudios.com.au. Fair bit going on Monday, I know. There is a lot happening, but we're excited with all of that. You would have heard off the top, if you were listening along and didn't skip through the ads, that the BackChat Ale has launched, Skeeter. So if you want to buy a beer that is BackChat's own, just go to shelterbrewing.com.au. You can get that right now, Skeeter. As I mentioned, we do have our regulars, Aspect Accountants, looking after our numbers today. So make sure you go and get in contact with Ben and the team at Aspect Accountants. They will look after you for sure. Did you look after them last Thursday? Did you give them a bit of love?
We gave a lot of love. We were so random, but we did give a lot of love to Aspect Accounting, because I knew that was one thing. Without a rundown, without any words in front of us, I knew that they've been a big supporter of us on Thursdays for some time now.
Aspectaccountants.com.au.
Accountants.
Yes, very good. And we have a new sponsor. I'll get into it when we get it. You'll see it. You'll like it, I think, Skeeter. You'll like our new sponsor. Are you happy with the amount of sponsors? People are coming out of the rafters to get involved with this show.
Mate, I work at 6PR. We've got more sponsors than players. Right. And you know that, and it's great. And we just have to roll them in. And you know what? It's the economy of radio.
To be honest, sponsors give more than current players. I mean, you're very lucky over at 6PR. You've got Jake Waterman and Luke Ryan, but you don't get a lot out of current players these days.
No. And you know what? The problem is when you do, people jump on them, or if Simon Garlick says, "Oh, the Dockers can win 2 flags in the next 6 years," bang, they get smashed. So I understand people being a bit reticent to make a statement, but those that do, I think it's fantastic. Let's not just cut the hand that feeds us.
Let's get into the big moments of the week so far. Skeeter, Tristan Sherry, 3 weeks upheld at the tribunal. I cannot believe this. I genuinely cannot believe that Tristan Sherry has copped 3 weeks for an action that is not a 3-week penalty. And he's copped it because of the outcome. This is the definition. In fact, I think this is the worst of the year in terms of outcome over action. If roles were reversed and it was a smaller player v a bigger player, it would have been across the chest. No one would have blinked an eyelid. But it's the action Whereas the outcome of unconscious player, of course we don't want it, but that cannot result in a 3-week penalty. But it has here. I won't bang on about it too much. I'll just take my case to the board as I sort of go in for my regular board meetings here at the AFL, Skeeter. Harley Reid got a $10,000 fine. So just to compare, Tristan Cherry's action, I thought 1 week at most. Fine should have been the penalty there. Harley Reid should have been a 2-weeker minimum. Yeah. He kicked Travis Boak. I'm defending Harley's behaviour most of the time, but I don't think you can defend this one, Skate.
Yeah, the only thing I would suggest, and Jacko thought it was a kicking motion as well, and he was very strong on that. And look, everyone seems to be on that same case. Gary Lyon, Eddie, they've all said that. I guess that the tribunal, I think there's a difference between kicking and tripping, isn't there? I mean, kicking is actually a kicking action. I think is a worse level. Yeah. A higher level of discretion.
As I told you, yes, I've been rubbed out 3 times in the AFL. No, 4.
Well, headbutting. 1
for headbutting. So I want 1 week for headbutting. How's the action there?
1 week.
Yeah, it wasn't a very big one, but the action was pretty poor. Yeah, no, I'll take it on board.
Did you make decent contact?
No.
But the action looked
poor.
Looked,
so right now, if that was someone else, I'd be saying 3-weeker.
Yeah.
But with me, it should have been fine. I got 3 weeks for striking Jack Rewalt. Just punched him. Just no excuse. I literally just punched him. And then I was suspended twice for tripping. I got done twice for tripping.
Yeah, but one of those was by hand, wasn't it?
One of them was Mark Murphy was running into the goal square, unencumbered, had way better player than him, just belting in, and I was chasing him, and I was never going to get him.
Annoying little player, though, would have been.
Oh, yeah, because he was good. That's why he was annoying. And I just thought, nah, not having this. I'm not having you run into an open goal. So I just ankle tapped him as hard as I could. It was really dangerous, actually. He could have broken his leg. Didn't break his leg, but he fell over and he didn't kick the goal, and he had to go back and kick it again. So I sort of did my job, but I got a fine for that. And then Lindsay Gilby was running through the middle of Subiaco Oval, and it was me v him. And if he got around me, it was going to be a shot on goal. So I just chucked my leg out, blatantly tripped him over. I think I got a week for that.
I see a bit of, but I've seen the leg go out a couple of times over the journey. I think Rowan Marshall got fined for something similar. I think Pendles might have done something last year and got a fine. So, look, I think you're right. I think you're probably right. And, yeah, the look isn't good. I'm not sure the severity of the leg out by Harley was significant, but you're right, the action and maybe just the lack of penalty attached to it opens a door for others to think, well, it's not such a bad thing.
So we know that North Melbourne are done in Tasmania at the end of this year, and which is one reason why their games here in Perth are just like, it's just hilarious that people kick up a stink about it, because they already do it in Tasmania. They're just swapping it out basically
for more money.
For more money, and they got to win, and they could have even won 2 games over here this year. So that's why I'm just like, that's a non-event. But because they're done, the Tassie state government are looking for a team to fill the void before the Tasmanian Tigers come in, right? Tasmanian Devils come in. Could we have the Tasmanian Tigers for the next 2 years? The Tassie state government reportedly want Richmond to play 2 home games in Hobart in 26 and 27. Will we see that?
So does Hawthorn not have a agreement? That's I guess with Launceston,
correct.
As opposed
Hobart's
to Hobart,
lost North Melbourne, so they're trying to replace it.
Interesting. So therefore, and given where Richmond's at, they're not going to be a powerhouse in the next couple of years. They're not going to lose a heap of attendances. Financially, maybe that's why they're going for Richmond. I'm not sure what the rationale for Richmond. Obviously, they're not going to be a great side in the short term.
Yes. I don't like. I mean, they're a bigger. You'd think they're better financially than most. Wouldn't you be targeting like a
St Kilda or?
But do they have deals in Darwin and Alice Springs?
Yeah, you're right.
Does everyone have a deal? Maybe
there are lots of deals for selling games, and that's happened for a fair while. But yeah, Tigers to Tassie. I'm not sure it'll fly, but maybe that's where the government's tracking. But yeah, I think they're too big a club to need to do that, but maybe we're both off the mark.
Yes, very good, Skeeter. Do you got any interest in the AFL All-Stars game?
Oh, look, going back in the day, there was some great vision.
Yeah,
great vision, great humour. I thought they did it really well, whether it was with 9, I think it's moved to 7 now. But I think it's obviously, and it's raised money for a good cause, which is fantastic.
Is that prostate cancer?
It is, you're right, 100%. So I think off the top of my head, Willie Rioli's been named to play in the All-Stars.
Well, Willie Rioli plays for Port Adelaide, but Cyril Rioli...
Did I say Cyril? Yeah, Cyril.
We were talking about Willie off air. He's having a bit of a rest in the sandful this week.
He needs to do more than rest. He needs to get
to work.
He needs to get fit.
Yeah, he doesn't look fit at all, Willie. But
Cyril.
Luke Hodge is captain of Victoria, and he's picked Gary Ablett Jr. with pick 1.
As you would. He's still in good nick, apparently, Junior. So
yeah. Oh, he was the one that kicked the goal that was very similar to mine when playing for Hilland. Very, very comparable. Like his was on his left, running at the boundary at about 1,000,000 miles an hour. Mine was just slapped out of the ruck onto my boot. But I thought they were quite similar, Skeeter.
Yeah, it's more watching guys like Hutchie. I think I saw a vision of him
ball.
selling some candy.
Yeah, that was good.
Kicking a goal.
Well, Nick Rewalt's the captain of the All-Stars, with Cyril Rioli being the number 1 pick, and Shane Crawford is the coach of the All-Stars.
Yeah. Oh, look, I think if you're there, it's a bit of fun to go and look. Will I sit in front of the TV? To be 100% honest, maybe not.
You probably will.
What
if it's on a Friday night?
I'm assuming it's during the break of the finals.
Oh, right.
I'm assuming it'll happen during that weekend where there's no footy on. I'm guessing that's the case. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming
I don't know if we need a big bloody draft reveal. I reckon just tell us who's playing and we just get on with it. Mate.
Anyway, it's a great cause and it's been revived. I think first time for about 5 years it's been played. So I'm surprised at your name, and you may well be getting a late call up given your.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? I mean, maybe you and I should get a call up. Where would you play?
No,
what position would you play?
No, I'm just in the goal square, Joe the Goose type man, just over the top.
These sons, kick it in. Hope someone falls over. Bradbury type operator.
I'm very much Bradbury. But I think you deserve to get a look at it. I just wonder whether do they take? Is there any network affiliations with this? Because do they take?
I don't know.
If Fox people are not involved, I don't know. But you probably deserve a call up, Sky, because you haven't got much time left before you become irrelevant in terms of your footy nous and ability. I'm long irrelevant. But
can we print that out and put it on a T-shirt? It's not long now before you become irrelevant. Thank you, Skeeter.
In your footy career, you said you're not going to play again.
Yeah, in football media. No, I get what you're saying, mate.
Yeah, but you know what? You've gone out in a high. That's all you can do. A bit like Seinfeld.
Baboo. All right. Shelter Brewing Co., the beer that we can't get enough of. Let's get into West Coast and Freo side of things, Skeeter. Before we do, if you don't have your tickets to the Derby show preview at the Leederville Hotel, it is me and Skeet. So, although it's not the Shelter FootyCast, it bloody well is. Skeeter and I will be working for 6PR that night. It'll be live on radio. But come down, get down to the Leederville Hotel. Tickets are available in our bio. It's in BackChat's bio. Across everything you do, you can do that on next Wednesday. Liam Duggan will be in the house. Hamish Brayshaw will be in the house.
Hammer's always a bit of entertainment.
You and I might just flick our mics off when he rolls in there, and he'll forget that he's on radio and he'll be dropping F-bombs on live air and they have to dump him. Lee Spur will be there from the Dockers. So it'll be a great night. Come down, have some shelters at the Leederville Hotel. Bring some mates. It's a really good night. We've done that for the last couple of years. So grab your tickets and get down to the Leedy next Wednesday for the Derby preview. West Coast v Richmond, Optus Stadium. This is Saturday, 6 o'clock. It's a night game, Skeeter.
6:10, yep.
Okay, well, I didn't know that.
You're not working on the game?
I think I am, yeah.
Well, yeah, there you go.
So, I mean, it's only Thursday. When do you start preparing? Are you already prepared?
No, I will start watching, watching some tape, as Dennis used to say. I'll watch some vision of Richmond. And now this is going to be the hardest 2 hours of my week. It's going to be the hardest 2 hours of my week, having to watch Richmond against Essendon. And for what it's worth, I'm calling Essendon tonight, but I've got to watch Richmond to prepare for Saturday night. So I watched the whole game, which I didn't see last week, just to get in my mind the players. But I'm told, reliably, the worst game, not just of the year, potentially of the decade.
In the history of the world.
So I'm going to sit through 2 hours of that.
Interested. Who's the hardest team to call play-by-play in the comp? Would it be close to Richmond because they've got so many young players?
Yeah, no, you're probably right. Richmond, absolutely.
Who else would you...
Particularly if you're calling off the TV,
yeah,
which we do a bit of. Yeah, Richmond, very difficult because of the, I guess...
Essendon would be difficult. They've only got 4 players that are on the list that aren't playing.
Got a 13th debutant tonight as well, so I'm going to be under the pump, but we'll guts our way through that. I remember... Just reminds me. He wasn't a debutant, but you and I were sitting in the 6VR studio and we're calling Melbourne, and number 45 had it for Melbourne. And I looked down and I went, I have no idea who this is.
What is Wakefield?
And we all have those moments you go, who the hell is that?
Oh, that's why I just continue. So tell us about Mona's Wakefield, Skeeter. What do you like about him? Yeah. No,
he's got a hyphen in his name. That's what I like about him.
Good junior player. Yeah, highly regarded. All right, West Coast Richmond. Free swing for the Eagles, this one perhaps. I don't know. 3 games behind Richmond. They should get pick 1 now. It's probably locked in, and potentially pick 2. The more I think about it, the more that's going to happen. Oscar Allen out the door and they get pick 2. So regardless if they win or lose, it's a bit of a go for the West Coast Eagles here. Tigers won this game earlier in the year at the MCG by 2 points. It was a pretty good game, actually, just because it was close.
I call it the Tom Gross game. He just remember surging for the young man.
Tom Brown came and mowed him down.
Tom Brown from behind, not from Channel 7, from the Tigers, and he did a great job and knocked him over. It was actually it was an entertaining game because of the closeness of it. And I think Saturday night might be pretty similar because the Eagles don't know how to win. No. That's a given. And Richmond, well, they've just had a 9-point victory over Essendon, albeit the game quality not great. So, and we know the quality missing from the Eagles lineup. So, if you go into this game with any confidence in your tipping, then I think you're being foolhardy.
Yes, I got 6 last week, by the way.
I got 5, so you've outdone me.
Caught you by 1.
Yeah,
I checked last night. I'm coming 195th.
So you've gone up the rankings a bit?
I have, yeah, but that's still $1,950 in the jar at this stage.
Yeah, I'd like it to get to $2,000 just to.
Just to prop you up for the week. So just on those picks, you know how they split their number 2 or 3 for Jimby and Hewitt a couple of years ago, 8 and 12. And I was against that, but probably looking back on it, it's probably I think it was Sheasel. I'm completely making this up. Whoever was it Sheasel that they would have got? Someone like that.
Testing me, but I think the premise of having the 2 picks, and obviously you got to get it right, but having the 2 that they've got.
Yeah, I'm in for trading it. Yeah. I reckon take pick 1, take your pick, whoever that is, or if you.
But is there a player? I don't know the draft coming up. Is there a player of the quality of Harley? Probably not.
Doesn't sound like it. There's a South Australian big key player. Dersma's been spoken about. I think you take pick 1 and then you can pick whoever you want, and then you split pick 2.
Go bang and get you 3.
Yeah, and you get 3. If you didn't have both, like if it's just like if they don't get pick 2 and Oscar stays, I'm not splitting pick 1. I think you take who you want. You don't double it up again. I don't know what you think with there, but because they got the 2, you take 3.
As opposed to 4.
Yeah, 4.
We say, can you split
them both?
Can you split pick 1 or not? I'm asking. I don't know the rules.
I haven't thought about that.
No, I'm not saying you can or can't.
No, you can.
Oh, can you?
Imagine splitting them both, and instead of 2, you get 4 or 5.
No, well, I just think
another future first.
I just think there's such a lack of the depth in the list is, and there's so many holes in the list. I don't know. I mean,
split 1 for like a top 10 pick and a future first from someone you think that is shit.
Well, they didn't do it too well this year, did they?
Yeah, correct. And then take your 2 and you can take that if you want, or you split it 2.
Yeah, maybe. And you know how much time I put into thinking about that?
Yeah, right here.
Not much.
Right here.
About 2 seconds.
Right here.
It was a thought bubble. I just wonder. I do agree with you. Splitting one of those 2 picks, though, I think would be a reasonable way to attack it.
Tim Kelly had 27 disposals and 2 goals in the waffle playing as a midfielder. So he, I believe, had a discussion with the coach and said, I want to play in the midfield. He's been played as a half forward. I've been speaking about this for a number of weeks.
He has to play this weekend. If Tim Kelly has any future, he's got to be back in the side playing. He's got the talent. I mean,
but he wants to play in the midfield.
Well, why can't he?
Well, right now they're playing Harley Reid, so you're going to drop him?
No, I'm not saying drop him.
Or Brady Hoff, you're going to drop him?
Well, is Brady? Can you use Brady as he has been previously off halfback?
Maybe,
yeah. But
I think they want to develop in there. So that's the decisions they're starting to make.
But they're going to win this game. This is a game. If dare I say it?
Why do they have to win this game?
I know we argued about this last night, but from a supporter's point of view, I look at the next 5 weeks, and there's probably one game that as supporters, not players, as supporters, you go, right, this is a game we can win, and this is the game.
Well, I just don't think it has relevance to really anything, because whether they win or not, the year's cooked anyway.
I'm just saying from a support, just to give them some nourishment after 3 years, just to give them something, Scully, to go to a game.
They're starving.
They've been in starvation corner for so long, Scully. Just give them something between now and if it's Saturday night, let them go to the footy, enjoy it. I'm not sure they've got the derby after that, and after that, good luck who they're playing. I can't see them winning a match, but it's going to be tough. So I'm just saying and maybe from a playing perspective, just give them. So I think this is one match. Does Tim Kelly come back in?
Maybe. That's probably
I think he does.
Yeah. Well, one thing's for sure, Noah Bolter won't be making the trip over because
he's
on
on curfew. Yeah. Why are you laughing?
I think it's funny. I think it's a great penalty by the judge that handed it out because you shouldn't be whacking blokes out in public, and it's on a weekly basis.
I wonder if he knew. Obviously, he knows how many night games Richmond had ahead of them. Seriously,
I hope so. Bit of feedback from socials. Little Bob on Instagram says, "Gonna somehow lose this one by 10 goals." So the
Eagles.
Yeah, the sort of doubt's already creeping in already. And Brendan on Instagram says a win in the bag for sure. So a bit of split thoughts.
Interesting, and even just talking to Eagles supporters now, there's a bit of because Fremantle fans are every second week they're always saying, now we're about to lose our way, things are going to go pear shaped. Eagles supporters now they've become accustomed to losing, who
are you picking?
I'm picking the Eagles for no other reason than it's being played here.
I'm taking the Eagles as well, Skeeter. I'm confident on a win. Not a big one, but they will win here at Optus Stadium.
Is that your guarantee of the weekend?
Not yet, mate. It's about to come, though. You're winding me up nicely for our new sponsor, Skeeter. Collingwood versus Fremantle at MCG Sunday, 1 p.m. They haven't been given the late game Sunday, which is nice.
This
the
game.
AFL.
I'm looking forward to this game.
Sam Switkowski plays his 100th game as long as he plays. Thanks to Aspect Accountants, some numbers. Freo haven't beaten Collingwood since 2021. 4 losses and a draw since then.
Draw was here. Actually, to be honest with you, their revival mid-season after that shocker against St Kilda started with that loss to Collingwood.
Yes,
which
correct.
I think you'll agree with.
And just some changes, Skeeter. Billy Frampton, Bo McCreary, a chance to return, but they definitely will be out without Dan Houston with an abdominal strain, right, in the abs, Skeeter. You might have seen them a couple, maybe 10 or 15 years ago on you. Yeah. Jeremy Howe subbed out last week with the groin, so you might have seen one of those.
I've seen a lot of it, yes.
Potentially getting Mychek and Pat Lipinski back. So there will be some changes. But on Freo's side of things, and Skeeter, here it is, our new sponsor, Homewise Solar. That is right, solar panels, Skeeter. Steve, who I've been in great contact with, he's an absolute ripper, big fan of the show. A couple of weeks ago, I threw out a guarantee of the week. I think it was something around Sean Darcy
being in the squad.
Yeah, being in the squad, and you were just like, you're just full of it. The things you come up with, the guarantees you give, they're just bullshit.
Well, they're pretty soft. I mean, the fact that he was, anyway.
No, but you know how I go out and I say, I don't know, Fremantle guaranteed to win the flag, those sorts of things, right? So I said, if anyone wants to back this in, let us know. Steve got in contact, right, at Homewise Solar. Right, so if you're in the game for some solar panels and you want to sort your house out, right, go and see Steve, homewisesolar.com.au. That is a great point, Skeeter.
Saves you a lot of money long term.
Correct. And you love money more than most, I think. We do.
Well, just trying to survive, just a battler.
Yeah, correct. So maybe you can get in contact with Steve because Scoey's guarantee of the week is backed by Homewise Solar. I can guarantee that Hayden Young does not play in this game. If he does, Freo are kidding themselves. So my guarantee of the week is that Hayden Young doesn't play. And who knows? I can't really guarantee it. But who can guarantee something? That's right. Homewise Solar can guarantee to save you money. Thank you very much, Skater. Did you like that?
I did. And I love your guarantee. How much, you've been at Coburn a few times to watch training to assess Hayden Young's, how he's tracking, I presume, given that guarantee.
Well, have you?
But I'm not giving the guarantee.
Well, that's a very good point. I haven't seen him since he was on the far wing at bloody Marvel Stadium doing his hamstring for the 10th time. Okay. That's what I'm basing it on.
Yeah,
Hayden Young, mate, they can't play it.
I do agree with you. Look, and we spoke to Adam Reid on radio last night. I suspect he has to just give him what will it hurt to give him one game back in the waffle? What will it hurt?
Well, I can tell you what it might hurt if they play him in the AFL, his hamstrings.
Even as a sub, there is Yeah, I just think he's too valuable to bring straight back in. I mean, Nat Fyfe came back via the waffle, albeit in different circumstances with his knee, I think it was. So, yeah, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I think you're right in your argument.
What if they sub him? Like,
That's what I said, the sub. And you can say that, and then he gets to come on the last 20 minutes and the heat's gone out of the game, or it might be right on. But if there's an early injury, he might have to play the whole game.
Some people say, well, what's the difference? Playing AFL or waffle, if you come back from injury, if you're good, just play. Well, the difference is if you need to be managed on minutes, right, and you need to, this is how it generally goes. You sort of play 60 minutes and you go 80 minutes and you're 100 and you go 120 if you can. You can't do that at AFL level. There's too much on the line. You can't just have a bloke sitting on the bench playing 60 minutes of footy. You can at waffle, as much as waffle fans will hate to hear that. It's a lesser grade. So you can manage minutes, and they'd rather have Hayden Young for 60 minutes than probably someone else. So I guarantee, I guarantee you he plays waffle thanks to Homewise Solar, and we'll get your guarantee of the week a little bit later in the show, Skate. I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to ripping it apart, actually. Freo, Collingwood, this is a huge game. I'm picking Freo.
No, you are. You pick Freo essentially every week, so that's no surprise.
What do you mean I pick Freo every week?
You're pretty much on. You picked them against the Swans 2 weeks ago. You picked
so out of 8 games, they've lost one.
No, but you pick them every week.
So I'm 7 for 8. So good work for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm a genius.
So what are you saying? It's no surprise you tick them every week. But then you've been on the money.
Yeah, I have. Bloody oath I have.
But so why are you tipping them? On what basis?
How so, Summer? Look, it's probably just a vibe, to be honest. I don't really know. I think I'm just picking it to piss you off.
Why are you not pissing me off? I want them to win. I want them to be successful this year.
I think I want them to win. I just want them to win. That's why I'm picking them. I want them to win. Imagine if they beat Collingwood at the G. Then we're up and about. Then we're properly on. We are on for young.
That win against Hawthorn, being at the ground, it was, whereas WA footy has not seen anything of any significance in the last 2 years, 3 years.
I think, look, I've had some thinking time. I just think if their midfield can take Collingwood's on, we don't expect anyone from Collingwood to really tag. McCreary comes and does a bit of a job on some people sometimes, but he might be like a Clark sort of operator, like try to shut down Jordan Clark.
So who gets Nick Dacos?
Well, I don't think anyone. Like, they'll just play.
But you've constantly said...
Yes, I know, but Freo don't do that. Wagner did it last time.
Yeah, so is Wagner the obvious...
He did a great job.
Yeah, he did.
Last time they played.
And that's right. And now it's jog my memory. Dacos had a quaddy or something. He played deep.
Yeah.
But he was basically shut down to a large degree. And there was a lot of excuses made about his health or his fitness on that night. But end of the day, I wouldn't see why he wouldn't go down the Wagner path again.
Yeah, so I just think they match them all over the ground. I think if their midfield plays well, they've got a better forward line than Collingwood's back line, and they've got a better back line than Collingwood's forward line. So in the end, if they can get some sort of midfield dominance, which they should with 2 ruckmen, Darcy Cameron's a very good ruckman, we know that, and he did well against Freo last time they played, but I just rate them as a side. I think they're a good side, and it's a bloody hard game. But if they can win this, they will have belief they can beat anyone, anywhere, anytime.
No, I don't disagree with any of that, except to say I reckon that Hawthorn game, that was so attritional. That was that would take a fair bit out of that group.
Yes.
And look, the money, the odds, the head will say Collingwood, MCG, you tip them, which I'm doing, tipping Collingwood. I respect for it. If they can win that game, you know what? It'll be enormous, not just for them, but for clubs or teams inside the top 8. Oh, Gold Coast got them. Fremantle got them. But bear in mind, they're going to finish top 2, Collingwood. So this might be their 2 or 3 week period where they're just off a touch, but they'll build up again at the end of August and hopefully for them September.
Bit of interaction from our friends on Instagram. Chris says, Victorian media will say, if Freo win, how poor were the Pies? If Freo lose, sack JL. So there'll be no credit where credit's due. I agree with that, Chris, for what it's worth. And Joanna says, I'm really hopeful, like me. Joanna, well done. Okay, Skeeter, as I mentioned, the BackChat Ale is out. Make sure you go and get yourself some of those. They will sell out, guaranteed. It's a limited release. It's not like the lager or the hazy or the stout, whatever those are. This thing will go. It's a bloody brilliant beer brewed for backmen. So go to shelterbrewing.com.au to get those. And we are launching on August Second, we have the BackChat bus, Skeeter.
It's on a Saturday, yeah.
Yeah, so you're not coming on it.
No, I've got to commentate the Waffle, which is, I think, Claremont and Peel, which is an MND fundraiser for what it's worth.
Yes.
You've got Woosher and I think Luke Longley and all these guys. It's a bit like the big freeze at the MCG,
Right.
So I'll be at Claremont at Revo Fitness Stadium. So maybe I'll meet you at Club Bayview or something later on.
Oh, we're going to be in Leaderville. If I see you at Hippie Club later, can we guarantee? Is that your guarantee of the week?
No guarantee for me. Although I guarantee you between now and December 31, I will get to the Hippie Club, most likely with you.
Homewisesolar.com.au. Skeeter's guarantee of the week is he goes to Hippie Club again this year. I'll bloody hold you to that. The BackChat bus is doing a crawl from Fremantle to Leaderville. We're stopping at 3 locations along the way.
How many on the bus?
I think there's 75. And quite a few tickets have gone. We released them to our patrons over the last 48 hours, but they are live to the public now, Skeeter. So if you'd like to go, tickets are $69. You get beers all day on the bus, plus a beer at each location. It is that good a value for money. And the kicker, me and Masto we're not driving the bus, but it's sort of like a reverse booze bus. So if you hadn't had enough to drink, you're not allowed on the bus. So me and Masto are running the show on the day.
You know, I feel sorry for. It is the bus driver, because that'd be just all these idiots. 1 hour, yeah, they're being funny. Second hour, yeah, okay, we'll put up by hour 4 or whatever, how many hours in.
Yes,
I couldn't think of anything worse than me sitting next to you and Master.
So you can get tickets, links in our bio. Correct. Imagine if you were there. You'd be taking over the bloody playlist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Play Elvis Presley.
Hey, hello. Absolutely. Good stuff. Don't worry about it. Just, stuff that you've never heard of.
Hey Siri, play me REM.
Well, you know what? Adam Reid last night said that history's important.
Okay.
And unfortunately, you're not in that category.
Thank you very much, Skeeter. You can get your tickets, but they will sell out guaranteed. So will the beers. So if you want to get any of that, just get involved now. You can go and do that. You can find our links in the bio, shelterbrewing.com.au for the beers as well. Okay, Skeet, let's get going in the games. Essendon v GWS at Marvel Stadium tonight. Essendon have beaten GWS the last 3 times at Marvel Stadium, thanks to Aspect Accountants for the numbers there. I'll throw this into the mix as well, Skeeter, for some numbers, thanks to Aspect Accountants. Mid-season draftee key forward Liam McMahon, debuting for Essendon. Yep. I think he's the 13th. Currently leading goal kicker in the VFL. He's kicked 24 goals from 7 games for Carlton before being drafted to Essendon, has then kicked 19 goals from 6 games for the Bombers. So he flipped over in the VFL. He's going to be playing. So that's exciting for him, Skeeter. How do you think this game's going to go?
Well, so these are the outs for Essendon. Setterfield, Caddy, Martin, Goldstein managed, Sardis and Hobbs. That's the outs. And from a Giants perspective, good to see Stephen Cornelio coming back in. First game since round 3.
Oh, wow.
It's been a pretty long year for him. But, yeah, the quality of the Giants, look, it's a danger game in the sense that, look, they'll win this match. I mean, unless something drastically goes wrong. My guarantee for the week, I'm going early here.
Homewise Solar, guarantee of the week.
We will see the smallest crowd on a Thursday night this year and potentially forever at Marvel Stadium.
Give me a line. Like, you guarantee it'll be less than
20,000.
Oh, I mean, didn't
23 they had.
Ross wasn't. Oh, Ross was that the one that Ross was?
It was 23.
Right.
So that's low. So I mean, Essendon's a bit bigger club than St Kilda. I'm going less than 20.
Okay. I mean, it's pretty good. It's pretty.
I'm trying to find something.
No, it's pretty good. I don't mind it. So it's pretty good. But I can't guarantee it, Skeeter. But what I can guarantee is Homewise Solar will save you money. I can guarantee you that, Skeeter. Jump on homewisesolar.com.au. Speak to Steve. He's an absolute ripper. Supports the podcast, so support him, please, ladies and gentlemen. Look, I don't know if we need to go much more into this game, to be honest. GWS smokes them. Brisbane v Western Bulldogs, Friday night. A good Friday night game. We're happy with this. At the Gabba, not in Melbourne. It's Hugh McCluggage's 200th game. He has been in the All-Australian squad 4 times, 5 times BNF top finishes, but he's never been All-Australian. I could give a third guarantee. I guarantee Hugh McCluggage is midfield All-Australian this year. I reckon he's an absolute ripper of a year. Earlier in the year, in this one, Skeeter, Brisbane trailed by 39 points in the third quarter. And then they kicked 13 of the next 16 goals to win by 21 points.
That was a gather round, I reckon. Although, do you remember that weekend?
I don't remember gather round.
No, that's what I'm saying. When I said, I thought, you probably don't remember which games you were.
I was probably there.
It was a gather round. I'm sure it was. Anyway, Bulldogs have lost 8 of their last 10 matches at the Gabba, going back to 2010. So their record at Brisbane's not great, mind you. The Lions' record at home this year hasn't been as intimidating. Who did we speak to after a match last week against Carlton? I think we spoke to, is it Calamachi? One of their players, and he said, look, we love the prospect, the challenge of going away from home. And remember they had a real reputation 12 months ago, the Lions away from the Gabba, no good. They've actually become I think they've lost one game away from home this year. That was against Adelaide, which they should have won.
Yeah, right.
Last quarter, they butchered the footy in front of goal. So that's a pretty good trait to have. Just need to tidy up at home. Again, top 2, it beckons for them. They've got a tough run home, though. They've got a tough run. So, no simple game for the Lions, but I still think they've got the quality.
We spoke about the Bulldogs' record against top 8 sides. Like they need to take a scalp, absolutely. And there's a lot of pressure on them, and this is one of the hardest trips in footy. Ben at Aspect Accounts, big spreadsheet guy. He's got spreadsheets going over numbers everywhere. He'll like this one. The Bulldogs' ladder percentage of 129.9% is the highest ever for a team sitting outside the top 8 later than round 10. So they're actually going pretty well, but I think that's held up by the fact they've absolutely smashed teams below them. It's not really based on anything they've done above them, because I think they've won one game against top 8 sides.
Yeah, they pushed Collingwood to a goal earlier this season, but you're right, they haven't shown it against the best sides. And I think it basically stems from their lack of defensive qualities. Interesting to see Kane Corns coming out and just having another clip at Bevo during the week on Agenda Setters, basically saying, I think Sam Power's giving you the keys to a Ferrari and he's driving like a banged up Camry, something along those lines.
I just, I like saying the odd odd thing or two. Sorry, have a bit of banter on Twitter and stuff. I'm not going head to head with Bevo or Adam Kingsley I got no interest in that. I like taking on punters and having a laugh, but that's getting a bit. I'm saying well out of that, Skeeter.
Yeah, well, the bloke's won a premiership. He's clearly can coach.
I will say Bevo's teeth are looking very nice.
What?
They're looking very nice.
You reckon there's a bit of veneer action happening?
I reckon there might be, Skeeter.
Why not? That's okay.
Would you ever do that?
Absolutely.
Would you?
Oh.
If you come in here on the Shoulder FootyCast with black hair and fucking veneered teeth, I won't be able to breathe. You'll need an oxygen tank. You'll need a bubble around me.
No, I do like having nice
I know
clean
you
teeth.
do.
That's wrong. My teeth are okay. You know what? The ones I laugh at, you see the Americans on any TV show, but also Warnie back in the day. He used to walk in, Warnie had the veneers, didn't he? And God bless his soul. Warnie was one of the greats. Because he'd have a lot of darts and he'd be just...
It's like Shoulder FootyCast, major sponsor 2026, the veneer co, and Skeeter's got bloody pearly whites on. That would just make my life. My life would be... I would die a happy man if that happens.
What if my wife said to you could come into her dental surgery, not get veneers, but get the teeth whitening? Would you get it done?
No, I don't care. I really don't care. Do you think I care about what I look like?
Clearly not.
Look how happy you are with that. You absolute idiot. Clearly not. Who are you picking?
Which game are we talking about?
Brisbane, Western Bulldogs.
Brisbane.
I'll pick Brisbane too. Far out. It's been a brutal day today. Seriously. Hawthorn v Port Adelaide at UTAS, University of Tasmania Stadium, Saturday. Arvo. Port belted the Hawks earlier this year, if you remember, at Adelaide Oval, just smoked them
early on. But I mean, they got back to within sort of 3 or 4 goals.
They kicked the first 12 of 13 goals in the game.
That was always a thought that
gather round.
Yeah, I do. It was gather round. I remember that was part of the weekend I was talking about, which you can't recall being at.
No, can't.
It was one of those extraordinary matches where you thought, just in brief, that Hawthorn, given everyone was talking about how rolled up they'd be after the antics of Ken Hinkley and whatnot.
That's right.
And they thought, Hawthorn's going to come over and just kick their backside. Well, it was Ken. It was a masterclass from Ken, to be totally honest. And that was their best win of the season in terms of what it meant to the club and the rivalry that's existed between these two. But it's obviously changed, particularly the injuries that Port has now.
A couple of numbers to throw at you, thanks to Aspect Accountant Skeeter. Port have won 6 of their last 7 games against the Hawks, which I find interesting. And the Hawks have won, but I should say, the Hawks have won their last 9 matches at UTAS by an average winning margin of 41 points.
Yeah, and also let's do some other numbers. Two numbers required. One, Jason Horne-Francis not playing.
Done. He's done for the year.
Zach Butters.
No. Connor
Rosé. Connor Rosé done with a hand.
Is he? Is that guaranteed?
No, for this game.
Is that guaranteed? Oh, well, I think he's in doubt at this stage.
I'd be staggered if he plays with a broken hand. Why would you play in a game where you... Yeah.
I'd love to see Mitch Lewis play. So he kicked 5 goals in the VFL this week.
But that being said, I was really impressed early on with Cal Shadir last weekend, which you may not have seen much of him.
But they rate him.
Yeah, he looks a real... Well, he is a player, but yeah, if you've got Lewis, Cal Shadir at your disposal, obviously Marby is just...
Marby or Chol, mate.
He's having a very good year. So no, they're pretty well stocked, aren't they, Hawthorn? If you're a rival club chasing a forward, that's where you'd be offering some money at the end of the year to maybe one of those big boys.
So, my young man Sid, he's a bit of a weapon in footy. Listen, this was this morning. You just triggered me with this. Okay.
Who's number 18 for Hawthorn?
Mario Cho.
What's his nickname?
Charlie!
What's his nickname?
Cholly.
I think there's
his new favourite, Cholly. He likes Cholly, Sid.
Yeah, well, he wears a headband and he struts a bit. Big boy.
Big rooster. Hawthorn win.
Yeah, Hawthorn there. And Port Adelaide, I wasn't impressed with them, to be totally honest with you, against the Eagles. I thought they switched it on for a quarter or two. But no, Hawthorn, I still haven't quite given up on them just yet. I think they can. I think if they get into the finals in a decent posse, they can cause some damage. Need Will Day back, by the way. He's due back round 20, Will Day.
Is that right?
That's important.
Be done.
But with him in the side, the numbers.
Yeah,
just going back.
They win.
They win more often than not.
I haven't really mentioned it, but I reckon Port Adelaide look back on the West Coast game and the kind of West You're talking a bit of lip
against a team that's won one game. No, I thought the same thing at the time. I thought they've been a bit big-headed here when all they're doing is... And to be fair, Harley was the one who was given the hand to the year after he kicked a goal. But I don't mind that he's competitive, he's trying to get his team up and about. So for all the criticism of Harley in that sense, I thought he got beaten where it mattered most in those contests after the skirmishes. But... you need someone to fly the flag. At the moment, the Eagles are passive.
Sydney v North Melbourne at the SCG Saturday Arvo. North have won only 3 times at the SCG since. Give me a number. They've won 3 times since?
2005.
2000.
Oh, wow. That's going back
25 years.
20 years.
25 years. So they've played 15 times as well. It's not like they haven't played there.
Yeah. And dare I say it, I think Larky's, if he's still out, Davies Uniacke might return from the concussion protocols.
Yeah, so it looks like they'll get him and probably George Wardlaw as well.
Okay, but Cherry.
Yeah, Cherry done, but they could get back Nick Larkey, Luke McDonald, Davies Uniacke and George Wardlaw. They're all massive ins.
They are massive ins, but they're still not a great side, North, I've got to say.
So who's their backup ruckman? Callum Coleman-Jones, Isaac's telling me.
Really?
Is that right?
Could be. I don't know. Charlie Coleman, I think, is an important player for them. He's been good this year.
So Brodie Grundy could have an absolute field day. He's been one of the best players in the league over the last 6 weeks, and he's going to ruck against North Melbourne with effectively no ruckman.
Yeah. They're no chance, are they, to make the 8?
Who?
Sydney.
No, they're 3 games back plus percentage.
Yeah. So this is the challenge for Dean Cox now for the rest of the season to try and still motivate his team because, it's pretty hard when you've been at a couple of grand finals or been contending to now planning for next year to try and lure the carrot. And I have mentioned before, Adam Simpson has gone, public about in a year where the Eagles couldn't make the 8, but they wanted in the last 6 weeks to finish the top of the table make the year a top 6 last 6 games of the year, basically a new season. So wonder whether Coxie will do something similar. Yeah, I'm tipping them, but you're right. They're the team that most clubs would fear if they're in the 8. and you think, oh, I've got to go to Sydney, and they just have that quality with Goulden and Heaney, and their forward line's been just smashed to pieces this year with the injuries, and Amadi and McDonald and Papley have all been out at various times.
Yeah, well, I mean, of course, we're tipping Sydney. North are not winning that. There's no way they win that. Carlton versus Melbourne, MCG Saturday night. Clayton Oliver's 200th game. He's got the most ever BNFs at Melbourne.
6, 7,
4.
4.
Equal with Jim Steins.
Wow, that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, really good. 3 All-Australians, 2 AFL coaches, MVPs. Like, been one of the great players over this sort of decade, really. I mean, to do that, 4 BNFs, 3 All-Australians, a premiership medal.
I can guarantee, though, he'll still be spoken about as a possible trade at the end of this year.
Yeah, which is crazy, isn't it? He's some bloody big stats. Carlton have beaten Melbourne the last 3 times by 1, 2 and 4 points.
Jeez.
So it's been a tight. This is like the Sydney West Coast back in the day. 6 of their last 7 meetings have been decided by less than a goal. I tell you what, Bennett Aspect accounts will be absolutely frothing over that. It's a tight game incoming. Maybe Stephen May should return from illness. Tom Sparrow will of course miss with that concussion. And Mitch McGovern, Horacio Fantasia will both miss with hamstring. So changes are plenty there, Skeeter. It's an interesting game, this one. I looked at this earlier doing my tips and, thought that it could get, this is probably one of the games that could go either way depending on who rocks up. If Carlton rock up, I still think they've got the quality to beat sides in the AFL. But we've seen too often, especially over the last month, they just haven't rocked up for entire quarters, entire halves, and you can't compete with anyone, regardless of who you are. Melbourne, on the other hand, I mean, they've been really disappointing this year, Melbourne. Like, they haven't even got slightly looked like it. Like, they've been a real disappointment.
Yeah, I still think they've been more competitive. If you look at their last 2 months, they've
won 6 games.
They've won 6 games. I'm saying the last 2 months, they lost a whole heap of games together. I actually think they're playing better footy than Carlton. Okay. I genuinely do. I think Carlton have forgotten what it's like to win, and they are, they're in just crisis mode. You've got players not knowing whether it's De Koning, whether he's going to play forward, he's going to ruck. Does Michael Voss want him at all to play a major part till the end of the year? I think they're just in turmoil. I think Melbourne's form line is better. I think their midfield is better. Both teams have got holes, obviously deficiencies, but I'm more confident in Melbourne.
I'll pick Melbourne as well because you know better than me in tipping, Skeeter. Geelong versus... I think I'll pick Carlton on my other tips, but I'll pick with you.
Okay.
Geelong... I'll stand with Skeeter. Geelong versus St Kilda, GMHBA Stadium, Sunday Arvo. Callum Wilkie's 150th match, one of the really good one-on-one defenders now in the league. Only second player ever to play 150 straight games from debut. Drafted as a 22-year-old rookie, debuted round 1 2019 and has never missed. And really, I can't remember him playing too many bad games. Isaac says on the run sheet that he hasn't played a bad game since, but he's a big St Kilda man, Isaac. He's won a best and fairest. He's been All-Australian. Just gets his job done every day. So well done to Callum Wilkie. Saints have lost their last 12 at GMH Stadium, dating back to...
2006.
1999, 26 years, they've lost 12 games in a row.
So your mindset's not great going there. If anyone hears that on the way down the freeway.
In fairness, I don't think GWS
take a great record there.
I don't think anyone else has a good record.
The Dockers had a reasonable record. Mate, they won a couple of matches there, to be fair.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Bear in mind, Collingwood, you wouldn't know. Carlton.
Have they ever played there?
It would have been back in the 90s. Maybe.
I don't reckon Collingwood's ever played there.
They might have played. They definitely would have played there in the 80s.
Mate,
that's why you're talking about
I know
records.
who doesn't. West Coast.
Mate.
Well,
they did. They did back in their premiership years, 06.
Yeah, they had that big...
Mate, 92, 90, they were good.
Not 2018.
No,
I went through my career, I did an article a couple of years ago to go on like average losing margin. And I think my average losing margin at Geelong...
100?
No, it was like 80-something points, which is just... Like, we played like 7 times. Lost by over 10 goals every time.
But did you turn up to that ground and go...
it gets to the stage, it's like, this is going to be fucked. Like, I don't know how to win here. Yeah, it does.
But what are the coaches must try and get in your head.
Yeah, but of course you go in with a plan to win, and then it's just gone.
Within 5 minutes,
it's gone.
Nah, we're back to square one.
Cold. At stages like they're building bloody stands, a big bloody gale force running through. Like,
oh yeah,
yeah, it's strange. I didn't used to like playing there as a junior. They used to play like in rep sides. Like I played there for the Falcons once. They used to play finals there. I never liked playing there. Anyway, Sam de Koning's a test to return with that shoulder injury. Dan Butler for the Saints, he's out with that dislocated elbow, which was a nasty one. Who are we picking, Scale?
No, well, this is the start for Geelong of St Kilda, North, Port Adelaide.
Saw that.
They've got a good run. So that's where top 4 for them, I think, is still very... Now, pretty poor against the Giants after kicking the first 3 last week. So I expect a response. I expect them to... Look, I'm not sure they can win the flag, but if you finish top 4, you have to be in the mix. So they'll win this game and then set themselves up, hopefully, for their run home.
Yeah, but they're only side in the comp that if they finish top 4, they still might not play at home. If they bloody finish top 4, they're going to play up in Melbourne.
That's right.
Adelaide v Gold Coast, Adelaide Oval, Sunday Arvo. Last one of the weekend. Daniel Rioli's 200th. There's a fair few milestone games, far out. 3 flags and a BNF for Daniel Rioli. Where do you win his BNF? At Richmond. He win a BNF at Richmond.
Given this is his first year at Gold Coast, I would have thought so, yeah.
It'd be difficult to win like Gold Coast. This is his first year. It was his second. I don't know. You and I don't.
I think it's his first year, isn't it?
I don't know.
Pretty sure it's his first year at Richmond. The years I've lost track of everything.
Good game this one, Skeet. It's 3rd versus 5th. It's a bit of a game changer for both, right? Whoever wins this, it's a bit of an 8-point game if you sort of look at it that way, I suppose. Suns won by a point last time these sides met. Isaac Rankin wasn't given that free kick late in the match or the mark.
That's right, yes.
But if you remember, big Riley Thilthorpe and Mac Andrew were going at it hammer and tong late in the game. I love that. I'm looking forward to them playing on each other again. I sort of had a few of these over my career where you've been a bit of argy-bargy and you have to wait either till the next year or 12 or 13, 14 weeks later. And don't worry, especially backmen remember it. Like they won't just go there and shake hands and it's all good. They'll be into each other. I'm looking forward to seeing that first interaction. If you're Mac Andrew, I reckon you put an elbow straight up the gut, straight into his chest. Don't look at me like that.
It's like just shake hands, say good luck, and then go and you're quite an aggressive man. Listen, Aspet Accountants, I want to throw these 2 at you.
Thank you.
The Crows are the best first half team this season, outscoring their opponents by 16 points per game. But here's an even greater stat, which is it has to be a factor on the weekend because, as you said, going to Geelong was an issue for the Eagles in your time. Gold Coast has never won a game at the Adelaide Oval.
Wow.
11 losses, an average losing margin of 43 points at the venue.
Wow.
Full stop. I know history doesn't count for what happens on the weekend.
So you're picking Adelaide.
Absolutely. And just there, I'm not sure that the Suns can stop them defensively. If Thilthorpe is in really good form, I think this Adelaide side, again, I haven't got them winning a flag or even playing off in a grand final, but they've been the big improvers of this year. Absolutely. They deserve a top 4 finish and they play attractive footy, Scully.
Yeah, I agree. I'm picking Gold Coast.
No, you're not.
I am. I'm picking Gold Coast.
So have you tipped them in your real...
You have? You want me to show you? I'll show you.
No,
I'll show you.
I don't need to see it.
Well, why did you just say, have you picked them in your thing?
Because you like to try and just,
Have you picked them in your
Why have you tipped the Gold Coast then?
Because I can. I'm allowed to. Am I allowed to pick them?
I'm just asking for a reason.
I've picked Adelaide, actually.
See, I don't trust you. Yeah, that's why I asked you.
Well, I think they can win. But I've picked Adelaide. I'm going to pick Gold Coast.
No, you won't.
I'll pick...
Anyway, if you're following Scully's tips, just beware because he talks in riddles. He's like David Copperfield.
David Copperfield, the magician. Is that
Yeah, he's like, just listen. And by the way, yeah, smoke and mirrors. Are you sure you're not a salesman? Used car salesman?
David Copperfield's probably the best I've ever heard, I reckon. That's very good. Sheldon Brewing Co., beer fresh from the Busselton foreshore. Will Schofield, Mark Reddings, Shelter FootyCast. All right, Skeet, a couple of these. I'm actually off to West Coast training today, Skeeter. First time of the year I've got to watch them train.
I guarantee you're not doing it for the spirit and the camaraderie. You're doing it for a job, I'm guessing.
Well, I actually am doing it for spirit and camaraderie. I'm taking my Aquinas boys down there to watch AFL training. It's been difficult for me as a coach to teach on-field talk to young players. So Masto and I, who are coaches down there, educating around sort of on-field talk. A lot of the time you say, boys, you got to be louder, you got to communicate, but it's difficult if you don't see what it looks like.
So why are you going to the Eagles then? I'm joking. That was a joke.
good. It's good. I actually spoke to a couple inside and they had the same reaction. No, because it's a young side, but the boys will see at AFL level, like it's if you've been to plenty of training, it's loud. Like it is loud. You can hear the players talk.
You know when you can hear. You're right. You can also pick when it's a bit quieter and that you sort of go, doesn't sound right.
I might rev them up. I might give them a bit of advice from this.
So it's obviously school holidays. So you got as many as most of your squad together to go and have a look.
Take them down.
They'll all put their hand up. Say yep.
Bit of education. I mean, what else are they doing? Playing bloody Fortnite or something?
No, it's good. I think it's great, and obviously they get a tour of the facility.
We'll have a bit of a look around, hopefully, if we're allowed in there. And
good Catholic boys, they'll be safe. Trust them with your life.
Yeah, correct. No, don't worry, my boys are very well behaved, good men. But I was saying that because we're going to hurry up because we've got to get to training. There's not an employee in the world that comes in with as much energy on a Monday morning as our Skeeter.
Really?
Well, apparently. Far out. Congratulations, mate.
Mate, you tell you
promotion soon.
Fake it till you make it, because I can guarantee on Mondays, there's not that much energy on the inside. If I portray that, then happy days.
Lee, that's on YouTube. Lee says, love Harley and love that he plays on the edge. Don't want vanilla, insipid football. I agree with that.
I think there's part of him, absolutely, that we love that's got that edge and not a robot.
This is from Derek on YouTube.
Sounds ominous.
And it says, it's ominous, all right. I had a dream about Skeeter last night. I'll leave it at that. Let the mind boggle. I prefer not to, Derek, to be really honest with you, mate. I'd rather just leave it boggleless. I'm not going to think about that.
Yeah, no, there's a couple of things I could say which relate to baseball, but I'm not going to mention that.
What's that?
No.
Home runs?
No.
Third base?
No, it's different. But no, it's probably not worth putting on social media.
Perfect. Well done. A bit of restraint from you. That's rare. Derek says also, well done, Scully, on playing in the community football thing you did with Hill End. You survived the game, got the win. The highlights on bounce were awesome. I don't know if you saw the bounce ones, but like the ones on socials are good. There's tap outs and goals. The ones on bounce, like had me kicking the goal, and then there was just a montage of me. You would have loved it. Like sucking in big breaths, cramping in the middle of the ground, like drinking pickle juice, buddy walking around, rolling around on the ground. Like it was a stitch up. It was very good. I liked it.
Did you have any more troubles completing the match than say a Swanee or a Fev? Or
I was so unfit, but I played 100%. I didn't go to the bench once.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean I was running.
That's part of your contract,
Yeah.
I guess.
No, it wasn't at all. I could have gone to the bench. I just decided to tough it out. Honestly, I didn't want to sit down because I thought
just
I might not be able to get back up.
Yeah.
Last one from Cos on YouTube. Anyone else see the parallel between Harley Reid and Sam Constas? It's not a perfect comparison, but they're both kids who burst onto the scene and are now working through how tough it is at the top level. But at the very first hurdle, they're experiencing a massive media pile-on. Also, Constas triggered 1 billion people in India in his first match. Reid triggered a few million Victorians by joining a WA side.
Yeah.
You're a cricket man.
Yeah,
That's not bad, is it?
Yeah, well, Constas, the difference is Constas, he in 5 years, he'll be a far better player. And obviously now we need to win the Ashes this summer. So as it stands, his form isn't good enough to hold his spot in the side.
Right.
It's such a specialised spot, whereas Harley, he's learning, but he's still, even if he has a quiet year and a half, he's learning on the job. And so there's a slight difference there. You're representing your country. It's for the now. Harley is for now, but also moving forward. So, yeah, they're both prodigious talents. And, look, Constas, I love his bravado, even his attitude with the crowd, you see him. So, look, at 19 or 20 years of age, let them just give them a year or two and see where they end up.
People love clipping players, I reckon.
Oh, yeah.
I like clipping players for actions that are poor, but not for, I don't know, it's too bloody hard, the game, honestly. Skeeter, that is us done. I know there was a lot covered today. Thanks to our sponsors and Aspect Accountants. Go and see Ben and the team there. They will look after you. aspectaccountants.com.au. Our new sponsors, Homewise Solar. Steve and the team will sort you out. If you are in the game for solar, then go and see and speak to Steve. Homewisesolar.com.au will be bringing you guarantees of the week throughout the year, thanks to Steve and the team at Homewise Solar. Skeet, the event's coming up. Go and get your tickets for Wednesday night. Next Wednesday night, you and I at the Leederville Hotel. Grab some tickets to the BackChat bus for the BackChat Ale release. That is on August 2nd, the BackChat bus. That We released that to patrons and about 30 tickets sold. There's only about 30 left on the bus because we've got a bit of friends and family coming too. So
Is it like that, the party buses you see rocking around the town? It's a bit like that, is it?
Oh, yeah. It'll be,
With older people.
Yeah. What do you mean older people?
Well, party buses for like teenagers and 20-year-olds. Like,
so
clearly,
I can't have a good time.
no, of course you can. But just know that you're a role model now for a lot of these people.
Oh, bloody hell, Dad. Seriously. It's far out. Just shove it. Shove it. Get on the bus and have 1,000 beers in respect to skate. I think I do want to pull up at the Waffle. So Hammer's playing at East Perth.
Yep.
I want to pull the bus up the top car park and get the whole bus out and give him a bit of advice from the sideline. That would be
And he'd love it because he would love that.
kick a goal. It would be like Schofield in front of the crowd. Skate, we are done, mate. Have a great weekend. Working lots of games. Working tonight.
Working tonight,
Saturday.
going to a Paywise little end of year financial gathering tomorrow. So Frankie Agostino on the team. So I'll just wander through there and bit of footy on Saturday, Sunday. Looking forward to it. And we're just about the time where the back end of the season.
That's where the energy's coming from you and I. We had a couple of weeks where we were just
I've also been to bed about 8 o'clock the last 4 nights just to get myself back after last weekend.
So, what happened last weekend?
Well, Vic was away, so I started a bit late watching the cricket and drinking shelters.
Yeah.